Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to the first Game & Watch review leading up to the release of the Super Mario Bros. 35th Anniversary Game & Watch. Today we are going to be looking at Fire, my oldest Game & Watch, and the fourth one ever released, its exact release date being July 31st, 1980. And it is of the Silver family of Game & Watches. It is just as basic, yet as beautiful as you can really get for a Game & Watch, with its absolutely nice silver and blue outlines, and then just basic left and right gameplay with your A, B, and time buttons down there. Flipping it around, later Game & Watches all had a little metal prong which would swing out on the back, which let it kind of stand up like a clock, but the original models didn't even have that. And of course, here is the battery cover, and this is super important because once we get our button batteries here, you're going to realize that you really need this battery cover to kind of push everything down and keep them in place. So you really, if you ever get a Game & Watch, need to take very nice care of your battery cover. Now let's just get this on nicely. Yeah, I say that. Be pretty hilarious if I broke it. But it's not like your Game Boy Color or something like that, where if you play with it enough and your battery cover breaks or something, the batteries will still stay in there. You really need to be careful with your Game & Watch battery covers. And after putting the batteries in, you are brought to a screen like this where all the cells are lit up, and you can actually now use the buttons to set the time. Of course, the watch component, kind of a big deal. And just like that, you can then press the time button and it brings you to a demo. You can just kind of watch the game play itself while admiring the clock. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press the Game A button. And this brings us right into Fire, which is the story of, I guess, two paramedics or, two firemen. They have kind of this sheet and they are trying to catch people that jump from this burning building. And yet, I guess, they just kind of, they're really bouncy, so they kind of go sky high, and you just kind of got to keep catching them and keep bouncing them over to that ambulance without allowing them to hit the ground. Again, it's just like Game & Watch gameplay at its finest, and yet it gets so addictive. The difference between Game A and Game B is usually that Game B is more difficult, usually caused by things being faster, or at this point there'd probably already be more people jumping from the building, while it takes a little while to get more difficult. If you play Game A, it kind of, gradually gets more difficult, where Game B is kind of more difficult right off the bat. In other cases, in other Game & Watches, sometimes, there'll be obstacles that never appear in Game A if you play Game B. So the game experience will actually be quite a bit different from if you just choose A. And then there's some Game & Watches which don't have a Game B at all, and it's kind of just all one thing. So there definitely is kind of a cool variety in that regard. Also, I'm going to kind of just let you listen to that classic Game & Watch beeping sound. And here we go. And you really want to have that beeping sound. It really kind of helps you get the rhythm down too, to when you should be moving and catching the various people. So I should note that, as you saw, when we put the batteries in, it allowed you to kind of set the time and showed all the various cells lit up. If you grab a toothpick and press this ACL button, it will, once again, set your Game & Watch back to factory settings, wiping any scores and also allowing you to once again set the time, just as if you had taken out the batteries and put them back in. There is no kind of, extra battery that saves your high scores if you ever change the batteries. Once those batteries are removed or that ACL button is pressed, all of the information will be lost. But, I mean, it's awesome, so you're going to want to play and try and get back those high scores anyway. As you can see, though, things are already starting to pick up speed a little and get a little bit more difficult. So story has it that Fire was actually originally intended to be set up in the opposite direction, where the building would be on the right and the ambulance would be on the left. But some sort of production error, or rather maybe confusion along the way. There seems like there was a lot of confusions back in the day. Maybe this one's just a rumor, like the whole Monkey Kong story or something like that. But yeah, the building was intended to be on the right and the ambulance was supposed to be on the left, but some sort of miscommunication or production error caused it to be the other way around, and since it didn't really change the game at all, they kind of just ran with it. That's what they say anyway. Now, Fire was also featured on Game & Watch Galleries 1 and 4, I believe. So if you're, the Game & Watch Galleries are a great way to experience Game & Watch games. So if that's something that, you own or would like to own, you will be able to play this game on those as well. And there actually was also a later release of Fire, which we will be looking at later on in my Game & Watch review month. which, you know, updates this game a little bit as well. So you'll be seeing that soon. Oh no, I didn't even see that. So that's what happens when someone hits the ground. And it's not even like it kind of gives you a breather. All right, you know, it's kind of like you drop one and then everyone starts hitting the ground. I'm sorry. I don't know why we chose, you know, the literal bountiest thing to try and catch people with. You know, you really have to kind of, you know, use your eyes and just, you know, concentrate and figure out which ones are closest to the ground at which time. It's pretty forgiving, but also it can be kind of tricky at times as well. No! And just like that, we got a whopping 27 score. I didn't want the gameplay to go on forever anyway, I just want this to be a quick little review, and I hope you enjoyed seeing one of the earliest Game & Watches in existence, with over 60 of them out there these days. The fourth one ever made, definitely still pretty basic, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow when we're going to look at another Game & Watch game. So thanks, and see you then!